Hi, everyone, and welcome to another special Talk to Some episode where we have Diego back. Welcome.
Hello, Daniel. Hello, everybody.
How are you today?
I'm very well, and
All
nice
right.
to be back here and in this great community that you're building.
Super nice having you back. And for those of you who don't know Diego, I just want to share with that he was a guest in Talking Insomnia number 69, where he shared his entire story. So definitely check this out. But what happened now was that you sent me a message with some new ideas, some new insights, and I was, of course, like, let's make an episode out of it. So I actually have no idea what you're going to tell us, but the word is yours.
Well, Daniel, my way of solving insomnia was, well, based on living my day. That's what I did, no? And I was obsessed by understanding exactly what I did to be able to transfer my experience also to other people. So in this last, yeah, I would say since the beginning of my coaching or my experience in coaching with sleep, I was wondering it, and so I was thinking back and then studying new things, reading your stuff, and the pieces one after the other. I mean, I connected the dots, and I think that more things I will understand more things in the future. But now it's quite clear what happened to me, and I feel that my insomnia ended on the 7th of October 2018. And normally you cannot say a date when because it's a process. But that day was the day that I decided to become a sleep coach. I wasn't recovered completely. But that decision completely from that day on, I didn't feel anymore as I didn't think anymore as an insomniac. I was focused on helping other people to solve insomnia. And actually, so I was already recovering. It was going already better. And in March, I quit my job. So I didn't have any job at the moment. I quit my job because I couldn't work anymore, and I felt that that job that I had at the time was not helping me. I didn't like it anymore. So in March that year, I decided that I really wanted to be well. So I quit my job, but I didn't stay one single day on the couch watching TV or complaining or no. From that day on, I went to the gym some days. I I went to some seminars for personal development because I felt I needed to nourish my mind to do things that really help me to change my situation. So I was in one of these seminars, and there was a goal setting hour or half a day. I don't know. I don't remember how long it lasted. And I didn't have any job, and I felt that I was recovering. I felt that other people were struggling with these problems. I said, okay, I want to help people with this problem, and I felt really enthusiastic about that. And so I started to buy books, and it was really really hard for me to read a book because I couldn't I was still very very tired, so I couldn't concentrate and read and really understand. But I was really really enthusiastic. So one step after that, things started to go better. And and I realized that this decision that I took on the 7th of October was the key, because I set a direction for my life. This decision not only helped me to recover from insomnia, but really completely changed my life. So 1 year after, at the end of 2019, my membership program for insomnia recovery was ready. And one of my first lessons was a goal setting session lesson, because I understand, okay, to set a goal really helped me. So I need to help people. I want to help people this way as well. So there was already some mindful things, an approach based on awareness. That's something that I learned later, and I understood the power of that as well. But it's okay. If a person decides to do something that inspires her, helps her to. Okay, so it was at the beginning of my program, but it didn't work. And I thought, okay, probably it doesn't work because people are still too tired. They want to sleep. They are not able to think about other things. Now it's too early to place this goal setting lesson at the beginning. So I moved it at the end of the training. And for those people that were going already quite well, that were recovered, it worked. So it helped them to to focus on other things and go on with their life. But it didn't work for everybody. And not only that, I felt that anyway, I was not able to transfer my message because, okay, it worked for people that had somehow already recovered. But for me, it was not something that I did when I was recovered. It was something that helped me to recover. So I felt that I was not able to explain the power of this message. So I kept watching seminars about the power of the mind, understanding a little bit more how the mind works, understanding that feelings are what triggers our actions. And then you think about an insomniac, what is that triggers their actions? Anxiety, fear. So they start doing whatever they can. They change their sleep program. They take supplements. They do this and that because this fear triggers their behaviors, and then they are in this cycle. Okay, so that made sense, this thing. But okay, but this didn't explain what happened to me. It wasn't clear at the time. Then there's something that you say that helped me, but not at the beginning, because I didn't understand exactly what. There's one thing that you say, that alertness is triggered also by curiosity. No, and you make the example of the child the week before Christmas, no, that he doesn't sleep because he's alert. Okay. Understood that hit my attention, and I felt there's more here. I don't understand what, but there's some understanding here that I need to get. So sometimes I would think, and I thought, okay, not only a child before Christmas, also when a person when he's in love. No, when you're also alert, you keep thinking about the person you are dating. So these are experiences where you are excited. But normally these are experiences that just last for a short period of time. For a child, just the few days before Christmas, when you fall in love, yes, for some period, and then the feeling changes, becomes love, and something different. And it's no more. It's okay, still a nice feeling, but not so intense, not so strong. So it somehow fades. And I felt, okay, so what's the point? There's excitement in both experiences and focused attention on something. Christmas Day, for the child when he gets a present, and for a person that falls in love, okay, excitement, love, this feeling, and the focused attention of the person that is dating. And these are exactly the same two things that happen with insomnia. You have focused attention on the problem and strong feelings. Yeah. They are simply just directed on different targets, we could say. So this made sense in my mind. Huh? So I thought, okay, so what I actually did is I used the same mechanism of insomnia, but instead of being in a vicious cycle, I was in a virtuous cycle, in a positive cycle. So I was excited when I set the goal. I want to become a sleep coach. I was excited. This idea focused my attention, and I was excited. And excitement and focused attention trigger the problem-solving mechanism exactly in the same way that works with insomnia. So I was actually doing exactly the same thing. I just moved my attention on something that made me feel happy. Okay, so I thought this for me makes sense. Then I have to explain this and test it with my clients. So there's a lady in my program. She's finishing now. she stayed in my program a little bit longer because at the beginning of the program she broke her wrist, so she couldn't. She was not really focused on that, and she's in her 70s, so I let her some more time. And when she started the program, she was really complaining about her past, how bad luck she had in life. She had also lots of surgeries, so also her health in general was not really well. And this the mindful approach was not really working with her, because it's difficult for some people that are young. So you can imagine with people that are a little bit older to be aware of their thoughts, of their feelings and their actions. It's not very easy. So she was telling me, I don't know if this program will work. Well, no. And she was a little bit sad. And then she told me, up to 20 years ago, I liked to paint. I painted a lot. I also sold some of my paintings, and she showed me on her wall, and I thought, okay, this is interesting. I told her, now you have to paint again, but I'm not able anymore. Now I have this wrist broken, so I cannot even paint, and so much time has passed by. So, well, it doesn't matter. You have to do this. Okay, so while you're recovering from your broken wrist, start thinking about what the subject you would like to paint. Start buying all the stuff, because probably you don't have the material. And she listened to me. So after she recovered from the broken wrist, she started to paint, and she was taking pills, sleeping pills, and so on. So really, in a very, very short time, she dropped the dose of the pills, and she started to sleep much better, and told me, you have changed my life. I feel so sorry. She went on a trip to Dubai. She's planning another trip now, and what else? So she's really another person. And I thought, you see, when you are when you are a focused attention, and this feeling of excitement, enthusiasm, how quickly the things can change. Okay, then you have to find something that internally moves this feeling. This doesn't mean that it can work with everybody, but you see, many insomnia say, okay, to recover I have to go to the gym. So it's not something that excites. They have to go. I must go. I have to do this and that. So it's still struggle. It's not something that excites them. Something that focuses their attention and moves it from insomnia and the problem to something that they really like to do. So really, I feel that I'm still working a little bit on these understandings, but I feel that, an insomniac really has the experience of the power of the mind in the negative way. So he knows how the mind can harm you if you use it in a bad way. So if you are just able to switch his focus and see just a little change, and then you help him or her to build on that, then
magic will happen.
Magic happens.
Yeah. What a story. You did it so well. Like, it was that, the story building and leading up to the insight and everything. It was, I really enjoyed listening to this, Diego. And when you said what you said about, like, I saw that I was doing my mind was doing the exact same thing when I was deciding to become a sleep coach, as when the exact same thing I had been doing when I had insomnia. It was like, wow, yeah, you're right. I've never really seen it exactly like that, but I think it's 100% correct. It's like the exact same mechanism, just directed in a different way. It's fascinating.
Yeah, exactly. So, for me, it happened naturally. That's why I took some time to understand, but I was obsessed. This is something. Okay, I didn't do anything, meditations or what. Every day I was focused. Okay, now I buy a book. I want to understand this and that. Then I was reading, as I told you in the previous podcast, things that, okay, sleep hygiene, this is not what solves insomnia. But I kept doing and work and trying. Yeah, since the beginning, I tried to understand what I did, but it was not as clear as it is now.
Yeah. One question, for discussion here that I think of is, let's say we're working with a client and we have this understanding, then I think the kind of challenge becomes, when do you sort of like for you, like when do you introduce this thinking, and when do you say to a client, hey, listen, sometimes I make this point as one of my favorites, like I've written blogs and things about that. I say like, oh, the solution for insomnia is whale watching. And it's like, just to get people's attention, like, whale watching, what does that got to do? Exactly nothing. It's just something different, something you do that has nothing to do with sleep, but that gets you excited. That can really help. But if you say that to the first time you have a client, like, just go whale watching, they'll think like, Daniel, you're out of your mind. What are you talking about? Like, so the question becomes kind of like, when do we introduce this? Like, is it just, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it has already been present since the beginning. So I changed a little bit the order of my lessons, because I told you in the previous podcast, there's REST, my method. So R is reconnection. That's the mindful part. Okay. So first I explain them to observe feelings, thoughts, behaviors. Then I add compassion, the kind of way. And so I help them to be aware of their thoughts. And then in the expression part, that is the second pillar of my method, since the beginning, there's gratitude. There's something about forgiveness, because you have to forgive yourself. It's connected to compassion. So forgive yourself, or maybe forgive something of your past or your present. So in the expression part, there's a lot that moves emotions. There's one lesson where I ask lots of questions. What's important for you? Where do you spend your money to make them focus? Where you spend your time, for example, or when you feel well, where do you spend your time to help them focus? I explain then, okay, insomnia somehow is the basics. It's what you want to solve. But if you focus on something else, it helps. So I lead them I guide them step by step. So I introduce almost since the beginning this concept. Okay, you need to focus on something else. What do you feel that helps you realize? I use the Maslow pyramid. So okay, this is sleep is on the basis of the pyramid, but there are lots of things that motivates you. What is it? So I help them think. If you have spare time, where would you like to invest your spare time? Where do you normally invest your spare time when you feel well? Where do you invest your money? Travels, sports. So there are lots of questions like this to help them think. Then at the end, so they don't know where they are going, because I give the lesson bit by bit. So,
I think to me it makes a lot of sense. Like you introduce this idea very early on, but then it sounds like it almost becomes the client's journey that determines when they maybe take a step in that direction, depending on how they're doing and how their journey is, maybe something like that.
So because some of them are already happy with their life. They just need, maybe in that case, maybe just mindful approach, and then help them to go back to what they already do is enough. Okay. But for some people that they're really struggling, that put their life on hold because they want to solve one of the first things that I say, you cannot wait until you solve insomnia to live your life. You have to live your life while you are solving your insomnia. That's why I put some exercises, some questions, and some things that can help them this way. Okay, so I work both on this mindful way to help them understand a little bit their thoughts, understand that it's their thoughts and their emotions that trigger all your behaviors, and at the same time I try to focus them on something, on their life, what's important.
Diego, I have a question for you. A little bit, completely off topic, a little bit, different direction, but I can't help but see. Are you wearing an Aura ring?
Or a ring?
Is that an Oura ring?
Yeah, but I'm not charging it for months now.
That's so funny. So you're just using it as a, like a decoration or
Well,
like
I
a.
would like, but I sleep well, so I'm not really checking the data.
Oh,
So,
okay. Oh, that's
but it
very.
is okay. In my training, I don't use it. I tell people that there are these tools, but I mean, this could. I mean, I think that these tools can be very useful for sportsmen, for athletes, people that have maybe more issues with lifestyle or these kind of things. Not more. Okay, they might be stressed and can be anxiety for their performance, but it's something different.
Yeah, exactly. No,
So
it just made me really curious.
yeah. But I mean, I'm not using with insomnia because they have to learn to listen to themselves, to
Yeah,
feel.
exactly.
So makes no point. So
Exactly. Yeah. And how about before we finish up here, I just want to ask you about the sleep coaching. Like, how are things going? Is the program growing? Are you finding new clients, or how are things going sleep coaching wise?
well, I'm growing. I mean, lots of people are finding it because there are a few new people that are starting, but for what I'm not really checking the competitors and so on. But sometimes I have a look and they haven't really understand what's the point. You know, that's fear and anxiety. So they speak about sleep hygiene or things that are not really the point of the problem. You know? When people find my videos on YouTube, they tell me, "Oh, wow, it seems that you say exactly what's happening to me.
Exactly.
You're the only one
Yeah.
that really speaks." And I'm happy. I'm happy that lots of people have already been to doctors, have already tried therapy. So I'm how to say relaxed because I mean some people tell me you are the last possibility. So I mean I'm not. I mean you have already tried everything else. Okay, then let's try and let's do it this way. And with many people, I mean one the last testimonial that I have published on YouTube, it was a guy that started to have insomnia after a surgery. He had a nose surgery. Then for one entire week didn't sleep, and then he started to for 1 year and a half he slept just 3 hours per night. He went to doctors, tried the different things, and he started to watch my videos and so on, and use my advice. And now he has really experienced what might change. It changed a lot of things in his life, and he looks like a different person completely.
It's
Is alive, lots of energy. Is making big decisions, and because he really understood how to say. He understood acceptance this way, but also he took actions.
Yes.
He was not passive. He took actions. He understand that. Yeah, also the power of the mind. I mean, then he told me I was struggling. Okay, that helped you. This willpower helped you because you didn't give up. But then things changed when you moved your focus instead of on the fight, on life.
Yeah. So nice to hear this. And I just want to share a really, really quick thing, which I was thinking about the other day. I remembered how I used to live in New York City before. And I remember the first time I went to New York City, I was just blown away, like the skylights and the energy and everything like that. But as you said, like it's kind of like with your love analogy, like after a while, that fades. It's not so exciting anymore. And it's just kind of like a place where people live, right? But with the exception whenever somebody came to visit, then you came and you showed them Broadway or Times Square, and then when you saw that expression in their eyes, you kind of relived it one more time. It was fun, and that made me think of like you now see your client have this transformation, and me too. Like whenever I have a client that sees the magic, and like it's like I get to experience it again. Isn't it a little bit like that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
fantastic.
because it means that when you see this transformation, it means really that you've had a big impact
It's amazing.
on that life.
And by the way, are you your YouTube channel is also like your Instagram? It's all in Italian, right?
Yeah, it's all in Italian. Yeah.
Okay. But
Yeah.
some people can use.
Well, I've had an Australian client from the previous podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice,
No,
nice.
no, she contacted me, just her. She contacted me and she said, "I would like to do with you. We did for Zoom calls," and she solved it. Yeah, it was.
That's amazing. Well, I'll leave it.
Because all my program is in Italian, so I translated some parts that I thought they were key, and well, it worked. So it
Wonderful to
was an
hear. I'll leave,
experience.
for everyone listening, I'll leave your Instagram and YouTube in the description. But yeah, I think I want to say thanks so much for joining again, Diego, and be in touch. All right.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Bye bye.